As an introvert, how do you feel about this quote by Jim Carrey? Solitude is dangerous. It's very addictive. It becomes a habit after you realize how calm and peaceful it is. It's like you don't want to deal with people anymore because they drain your energy. Edit. Wow, I did not expect this to this well. Disclaimer: this post was first made in r Ask Woman. I brought it over here to show more people. If you upvoted this, upvote the main one link. Gets more and more true every year for me. I've been living alone for 3 years now after spending 2 years with college roommates I detested and rarely interacted with. I definitely get this. On the one hand, living alone is great because I do not have to deal with anyone else except for work. On the other hand, I worry that it's doing some long-term damage and have to make intentional effort to counter it because I fear my ability to ever be part of a family again is severely diminished. I am a huge introvert, but when I got a customer service job in high school I noticed my mental health improve a bit. Sure, interacting with people was draining my energy, but I was happier for some reason. Now I have a career in marketing that comes with the perfect balance of socializing and alone time. Sure, interacting with people was draining my energy, but I was happier for some reason. Study after study after study has linked social interaction with psychological well-being. It's almost as if we evolved as a social species, and the evolution of our brain was driven in large part to create, comprehend and navigate our complex social structures. You ever notice how a dog that received regular walks is happier than if they didn't eat? Humans are the same. We need to get energy out, including mental energy. It's like how peaceful you feel after a workout. Yep, I've been cooped up since moving back home out of college last month and have been on a downswing. Basically my social life stopped. I was doing nothing but laying around playing video games and job hunting. Didn't want to go see people because my grandfather is staying with us and he is in a high-risk group. My mental health declined. Fast forward a couple weeks ago I got a job in my field and am preparing to move into my own place, so I've been busier. I've started feeling a lot better. Need to start exercising again as well, but I will probably be doing that after the move is finished. Do not really have a good space here to work out. I can 100% relate. I live by myself, work in an office with just a few other people, and COVID has made it so I don't see my friends much. Spending 90% of my time alone was trying at first, but now it's becoming less enjoyable to be around people. Sometimes I'll call a friend, and then realize during the conversation that I don't really want to talk to anyone. Luckily I function well by myself. I can feel you on this one quite a lot. COVID has slowed the world down so much that I caught up, so to speak, and now have time to just relax and be alone with my thoughts. I've had major breakthroughs mentally because I have so much alone time with my thoughts, and I used to hang out and party every weekend, and now people mostly annoy me, and I find myself thinking it's not worth it to go out much anymore. Preach. Haha. It has been a great opportunity to narrow down the friend circle and keep relationships with just a few close friends instead of lots of loose acquaintances. It's quite therapeutic to just be alone with your thoughts. Can also be dangerous. It has taken me down some dark roads. Taking time to reflect inwards can help a person have a better sense of self and to help know who you truly are. Couldn't agree more with going out seeming like a waste now. Going to a packed club to spend 200 in a crowd of strangers with crappy music doesn't sound like fun anymore. Haha. Plus think of the money we are saving. Yep, exactly, man. I think pre-COVID, all those outside social events, parties, clubs, bars and keeping up with acquaintances were huge time sinks and to me were distractions from what people really want to do with their lives. But we hated boredom so much we filled up our time with that stuff. Use it as socially expected. Now that social expectation is gone, it's so cathartic. I am not shaming anyone who wants to party, but I really appreciate how COVID has removed the social stigma with just not buying into that stuff. I feel the same way. Dropping $200 for a night out at the club is a huge waste. I'd only do it with friends and very rarely at that. Rather save that money for something we actually want. You got the right idea. It's about 10 years I live in the woods, so there's that. It started by chance, but now it would be impossible for me to go back and live even in a small town. But it seems to me it's not so much about being addicted, it's just incontrovertibly better if you want to see people you can still drive and meet them. As for people draining your energy, just cut toxic relationships and cherish healthy ones. You reliving my dream. I actually find that interesting. Most people I know and some I talk to all dream of owning a small house out in the woods or just on a lot of land. To me it seems most people would 100% prefer living like that versus the modern day commotion. Of course they would, until they realize that in the woods stuff like heating, running water, electricity, etc. is not nearly as trivial, nor is it to drop down to the corner store for milk, or getting to work every morning unless you are working from home, that is. I am very seriously contemplating quitting my job to just be by myself forever. Jim Carrey has bipolar disorder, which, for those unaware, is a disease most often accompanied by crippling bouts of depression with a capital D, which means the kinds of serious depressions that involve psychomotor retardation and other physiological changes, and that often require hospitalizations. I see quotes such as this as not being about solitude or introversion at all, but about depression, and how he has learned throughout his life what factors he needs to manage that he knows would otherwise be triggers that would send him spiraling down another episode. In addition, he is rich and famous. People are probably more draining to be around because a lot of them will want something from him or jockey for status. Jim probably cannot be in solitude around other people because they want deeper interactions with him, whereas we can go into a crowd and enjoy some alone time. For Jim, solitude and physical isolation probably overlap more than they do for the average Joe. He is also the kind of rich and famous that stays rich and famous through social events and doing things in public. What he describes in his quote is not a bad thing unless you're a celebrity. I am a musician and a bartender used to before COVID. I enjoy alone time as much as party nights. Since the pandemic hit and I lost both my jobs, I have been spending most of my time alone, or with my girlfriend. Sometimes I am alone for over a week, do not talk much, no one to talk to, and I have to say it scares me a little how used to it I get. My GF will be like, when are you coming over? I miss you. And it's not I do not miss her or do not want to be with her, but I just get so used to everything being exactly at my own rhythm, with no external interference. I would definitely say you can get addicted to it, but more than that, I think you can lose yourself into it. I cannot wait to play shows or drink shots with clients for change. What do you find yourself filling your time with when alone? I like to practice music, guitar, bass and drums, read, watch movies series. I've started gaming intensely again, which I hadn't done in a while, and I find myself wasting a lot of time on social media. Also, I really got into puzzles recently. Sounds like some good me time, man. Do you ever have issues spending too much time on your phone? That's my problem when I am alone. It's true for some people, but unrelated to introversion, and really annoys me when people equate introversion with solitude. I am a very introverted person, and I love going out to big events when there's not a pandemic happening. I just need some time alone to recharge afterwards. That's all that extro-introvert means. You either feel energized after participating in social groups, or you feel tired after. You can be an extrovert that hates people but feels like they have to go out into the world just to feel like you did something today. You can be an introvert who is having the time of their life at the party, but needs to go home because they're physically tired now. You can be an introvert who is having the time of their life at the party, but needs to go home because they're physically tired now. I am this person. I love parties. I love going to parties. I love drinking and dancing. I love being with friends and people I like, but there's always a certain point where I am like, I am tired of this. I wanna be alone now, and if I can I leave. I love being with friends and people I like, but there's always a certain point where I am like, I am tired of this. I wanna be alone now, and if I can I leave. LOL, that is very much how I feel. I have found that I have a social reserve of about 2-4 hours, depending on the activity. Is it brunch, the bar, holiday party? Once I've hit that social threshold, it's like my face all of a sudden changes. I am exhausted, and I just want to leave. I am tired of this is exactly that feeling. It was fun, but now go away. 2-4 hours is the sweet spot for parties, just enough time to mingle with everyone, have a few good conversations, make a handful of people laugh, pace yourself with drinks and not have to Uber home because you're too drunk to drive. I get to the 4-hour mark and I am like, okay, that was fun, but I am bored now, time to go home, like someone flipped a switch in my brain. I do not see what's dangerous about it. I live in my head, I visit social spaces. That's not addictive, that's just how I am put together. It's not increasing over time. I've always had my stable recharge space as my personal bubble, where I save up the energy to go do people stuff if I want. I do not see that I have to judge the quality of my life by the amount of time spent around other people. If I want to go out for a walk or read a book or kick back on Reddit, that's just as worthy as yammering at someone up close, and I refuse to treat it as less than. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.